The Albion, having been relegated from the second tier in 1992, stayed with Barry Lloyd at the helm as they embarked on a new season, beginning away to Bradford City. Not a good start at Valley Parade, Albion losing by 2 clear goals, and another defeat at Priestfield against Gillingham in the Coca-Cola Cup, though Brighton did have the chance to save the tie with a second appointment at the Goldstone. But no camera crew was available for the Hartlepool match, but Nicky Prouting saved the day with these pictures courtesy of Meridian Television.
Hartlepool at the Goldstone ground looking for their first win. Kurt Nogan lively in attack and Brighton tried audio with pressure. It paid off after 12 minutes. Stuart Monday's cross searching out Andy Kennedy to finish. The lead didn't last long and John Gallagher's strike gave 18-year-old Nicky Rusk no chance. Nogan worried the Hartlepool defence, but Tom Carter in goal was in good form. The score remained Brighton 1, Hartlepool 1.
Albion off the mark with a single point against Hartlepool, and now it was Gillingham, the Seagulls needing a 2-goal win to progress in the tournament. Gillingham's keeper Scott Barrett beat them twice to set up a second round tie with Middlesbrough, again over 2 legs. Meanwhile, in the league next up was a trip to Ninian Park to face Cardiff City.
Kennedy. That was a vital interception by Searle, who plays it through. The flag stays down. Blake must score if he keeps his feet, and he has! Beating the offside trap. Cardiff City's leading scorer nets his 4th goal of the season, and isn't he delighted at that? Been on against Stuart Monday. He's fancying it, and he hits the underside of the bar with a scorching shot. Will he try another one? I think he will on his left foot if he gets there. Just a little bit greedy. Richardson, and Rust at full stretch somehow palmed that away. Cardiff City should be leading by 2 goals to 0. Going long, and Brazil, it comes off his back, and a great chance here. The shot goes in, and Kite's angles were absolutely right, and they needed to be, because Kennedy's shot was homing in on goal then. But now Edwards escapes, James escapes Brazil. Maybe a chance here for Nogan, and the rebound is headed over by Codner. Cornwell's boot is off. And Nick Bissett taking the free kick. Crumpling. Brazil away. Searle to Blake. Blake trying to shield it. Crumpling trying to get in there. Mayall. Oh, Crumpling gets away from his man. Drives it. It's there. Kurt Nogan back on home territory, heading the Brighton equaliser. Brighton again just over elaborating it, but maybe a chance here now, and there it is in the back of the net from Stuart Monday. They created that opening, they were patient. This is Damon Searle. Maybe a chance now for Blake. Can Blake winkle past Chapman? Blake is still there. It's still there. It's Cornwell. Cornwell equalises deep into injury time. It's Cardiff City 2, Brighton and Hove Albion 2.
Early days, but a good point at 3rd place Cardiff City. Albion now taking on Bristol Rovers at the Goldstone. Albion tripping up against the Pirates and plunging into the relegation zone with just 2 points. Huddersfield weren't doing much better and were only on 4 themselves. Barry Lloyd, furious at Huddersfield last-minute equaliser, demanded to see the video immediately after the game. It was 2 points tossed away, and he got no better at Booth and Crescent.
Brighton got away with it. Good ball back. No. Oh, what is a good save there. Once again, it's back to... There's the goal. It's the goal. After 6 minutes, York City take the lead. A headed goal by John McCarthy. We don't see many of those. 2 months again in the thick of the action. A couple of good clearances. Oh, and a good shot. Oh, and a magnificent save there by Kiley. A first time shot by Funnell. A magnificent save. St Dawson's had a good game. We've seen very little of him, which is always a good indication of a good referee when he's not noticed. York on the attack. Swan overhead kick to to Barnes through. Nice shot, and it's a goal. The first minute of the second half. Swan scores. Gary Swan, his second goal of the season. These goals must be going to his head. Headed back by Hall and Foster for Brighton. Back by Atkins for York City. Now Brighton on the attack. They won the ball. There's lob forward. And Kirk Nogan fires in his shot, and it's Dean Kiley came out a little bit too far. Nogan passed him and put the ball through beautifully on the ground to bring Brighton and Albion back into the game. Now it's York City. Won the throw in, it's back to Hall. Back to McCarthy, back to Hall there, holding the ball up. In the middle to Barnes back heels it. To McCarthy scores. His second goal of the game, he fired a nice shot there. Rejected. No cheering, no noise. They've played their game. This time it's McCarthy walking into Steve Foster. Foster going to get the yellow card. He walked straight into McCarthy and knocked him down. Referee waving Steve Foster over. Obviously Steve Foster looking to... Oh, it's a red card. It's a red card for Foster. He's going.
Just Kurt Nogan's goal to cheer about in that one. The Albion stayed up north for a midweek encounter with Burnley.
Rundle. Superb ball to Ayres. Chance for Burnley. Good first time cross. And a superb opening strike by Kevin Russell. Rundle with a free kick. And a superb goal by Burnley number 4, Steve Davis. Into Heath. As Russ kicks into the night sky. Nogan centre field for Brighton. Poor ball. Heath. Good first time ball for Deary. Chance for Burnley. Rust out well. It's going to be a goal for Burnley. A rather fortunate goal, it may be fair to say. Steve Foster remonstrating to the linesman. One thing is for certain, I will think they'll be in the top 10 as Burnley try and make it 4-0. Oh, Les Thompson, chance for Russell. Must be a goal. Superb save by Russ. Must be, no, another save by Russ. Oh, chance for Burnley there through Russell. A little scrappy, the ball bobbing around in that Brighton penalty area.
Now Burnley creeping into the playoff zone with that convincing win. Only the pointless Barnett keeping Brighton off of the bottom place as they squared up to Brentford, looking for a first win of the season. Kurt Nogan's double seeing off Brentford and dragging them into the relegation zone. A night of misery at Ayresome Park as Middlesbrough killed the Coca-Cola Cup second round tie with a 5-0 first leg win. Leyton Orient had won 3 of their opening 4 home games and were not expecting a 5-star performance from the Albion.
Suddenly putting Orient back on their heels as they gain another corner, their second one of the match. So Wilkins the man to take this one as everybody bar Akai comes back for Orient. A good shot, it's deflected. Not away yet. Another chance for Codner. Good shot, oh yes! Was it in? I thought it was in, but goodness me, it hit the bar and came down. Robert Cardner must have thought he got that in the back of the Orion net. That's a chance. Oh! He's put it over. Nogan, a really good opportunity. But three-header there at the far post. Very poor marking, a goal, and really Orion have got to look at the marking there. And that really was schoolboy stuff. Hackett! Oh yes, beautifully done. Beautifully done. The dummy from Hendon and a rocket from Hackett. A little too short with the pass. Punt forward. Oh, and Hendon's got himself, Hackett rather's got himself in a right old pickle. That's 2-1. Edwards scores. Capitalises on an individual error. And Brighton are back in front. Cooper almost getting in there, scooped away though. Onside is Edwards. Can he get in behind? He can. Smothered to the ground, but not away yet. That's 3-1. That's 3-1, and that's it. It's in there. Newell couldn't gather. Brighton surely have taken the points. Wilkins inside to Edwards, who's on a hat-trick now. He's unmarked. Oh, can he get there? He can. Gets a good shot. Oh, and just inches away from his hat-trick.
That 3-1 win in East London, unexpected but welcome all the same, as it kept the Albion just outside the relegation zone on goal difference, and after 9 games the Seagulls were looking uncomfortable in 20th place. The bottom 3 places there all held by clubs inside the M25, and Barnet still to get off the mark, looking particularly vulnerable. For the Seagulls, it was another trip to London, this one not so successful, as they are beaten soundly at Craven Cottage by 4-1 against Fulham in the first of 2 fixtures in the Autoglass, with just over 1,000 at that game. Brighton still in the tournament if they can beat Reading later in the season. Before that though, it was Exeter City at the Goldstone, and after a shaky start, they had risen to 8th place in Division 2. Both sides firing blanks, the game finishing goalless. Now it was Middlesbrough in the League Cup, the Seagulls needing 6 goals to continue having an interest in that one. 2,074 brave souls inside the Goldstone to witness the Albion going down 8-1 on aggregate, 3-1 on the night. Now it's Stockport County, second in the table and going well. A good point against the high-flying county, but then a narrow 2-1 defeat along the south coast at Bournemouth. Now it was back to the Autoglass Trophy, the Seagulls needing to beat fellow Division 2 side Reading. Goals from Nogan and Geddes not enough as Albion bow out of the Autoglass with that 2-2 draw with Reading. Staying at the Goldstone now as 20th placed Albion entertain Rotherham United 3 places higher. Albion going down at home by 2-0 and another 0-2 reverse, this time on the road up in Blackpool. At the last moment, the Wrexham game was brought forward 24 hours.
In 9 games, took the lead against Wrexham after 27 minutes. Ian Chapman's cross headed in by Gavin Geddes. But in the second half, they conceded a penalty and Steve Foster brought down Stephen Pugh. no complaints about the decision. And Steve Watkins scored the equaliser. Final score: Brighton 1, Wrexham 1. Brighton now just 2 places off the bottom of Division 2.
So just one home win from 8 games, though the Albion had drawn 5 and lost only 2 after the 1-1 draw with Wrexham. The bottom of the table clash at Craven Cottage proved more lucrative, Kurt Nogan claiming the game's only goal, but a second trip of the season to Dean Court to face Bournemouth in the FA Cup this time again ends in defeat despite 2 goals from Andy Kennedy. A tough cookie next as second place Reading returned to the Goldstone. Another home defeat and a disaster against Port Vale.
That's played wide to Neil Aspin. Good cross coming in, and there's the first goal this afternoon. And that was a great cross from Neil Aspin, and there to put the ball in the back of the net was Martin Foyle. That's a good one coming in from Paul Kerr, and that is a great header, and there's the second goal. It was Peter Swan that got the header. He's looking for Van der Laan, gets it down, and there's the goal coming in from number 8, was it? This is Van der Laan. He's got Martin Foyle in front of him and uses him, and on the right hand side is Bernie Slaven right across the box, but Foyle tries the shot and it's blocked. And Van der Laan can't control, but Taylor will get the shot.
The 7-year reign at the helm of the good ship Brighton coming to a close after a crushing 0-4 reverse at Vale Park. And at Hartlepool, a 2-2 draw is of little use to either team, who both remain in the bottom 4. And now it's time to unveil the Albion's new manager, former Arsenal and Inter Milan genius Liam Brady, for the encounter with Bradford City. Not the dream start for Liam Brady as Albion lose to a Bradford City penalty. 23rd, now played 24th, as bottom club Barnet, with just 9 points all season, arrived to a bumper crowd at the Goldstone. A priceless win thanks to an Ian Chapman penalty. The Albion decided to abandon the squad numbering system and return to the conventional shirt numbers for the New Year's Day match with Cambridge United. A happy new year indeed as Brighton chalk up an impressive 4-1 win. A Kurt Nogan hat-trick and one from Simon Funnell there. And it's followed up by 2 away draws at promotion chasing Plymouth Argyle, a massive 15,000 crowd down at Home Park there, and a goalless confrontation with Hull City at Boothbury Park. The Albion now look to extend their unbeaten run against Bournemouth.
Waiting virtually on the goal line. Alex Watson's in there too. Bennett tried to get his head on the ball. Can they deliver an accurate cross? O'Connor's got in behind the defence here. Oh, that's a terrific save. To deny Warren Aspinall the goal for Bournemouth. Dutton has plenty of space here. Murray's waiting in the middle if he can find him. Murray, what a goal! Brilliant header by Murray. Converting that cross by Steve Cottrell. It was a bullet-like header by Robert Murray. This is Case. Looking for McCarthy, who's found half a yard. He's spinning away towards it. Connor. Aspinall picks out number 11 Murray. Still Murray. Aspinall, yes! A goal for Bournemouth. can strike them at range. The goalkeeper spilled the ball, and it's Wade Smith's shooting round. And Robert Murray, who scores his second goal of the game. Oh, that was another vicious shot by Warren Aspinall. Foster. That's the handball against Pennant. Given. That's Foster. Towards McCarthy. Oh, that's a...
Great comeback from 1-3 down as the Albion salvage a point and take their unbeaten run to 5. But that comes to an abrupt halt at Edgeley Park as the fearsome Stockport County make it 10 home wins out of 12 with an easy 3-0 victory. And a look at the league table shows the Albion now in the drop zone in 22nd position. Liam Brady's side having a lot more work to do. That win over bottom club Barnet now looking very useful. And Brighton do have a game in hand over Fulham in 20th place, and they're only a point behind the Londoners. Against mid-table Blackpool, Albion's winning ways would return at a windswept Goldstone. Now, match played in near hurricane conditions, with the Seasiders beating, well, the Seasiders. And another good performance next, this time up at Millmore. The Albion leave the relegation zone and Rotherham United enter it after this 1-0 away win with that Robert Codner goal, and now the Tigers arrive at the Goldstone. Hull City taken apart by a rejuvenated Albion side, the 3 straight wins elevating the Seagulls to 18th in the table. Now it was off to Bath to face 4th place Bristol Rovers.
Man on Pates gets a lovely cross in. There's the header. It's in the woodwork and away. Madison gets the ball back in. Pates, Rust is there. To the Channing. Channing's cross could find Taylor. It does. It's there. Rovers score. That's deserved. John Taylor and Rovers are in front. That's it. There's the cross from Monday. Good header. Parkins saves, but it was bobbling. Chapman's shot. The punches from Parkin.
Now, a disappointing performance down in the West Country. The Albion staying on the road, though, to play Huddersfield Town at London Road.
Just those 18 minutes down to get back into the game. Milgan gets the ball across. Excellent work by Milgan.
An excellent 3-1 win against Huddersfield. Steve Foster claiming one of the goals, and now a chance for Albion to avenge their early season defeat against York City. Robert Codner among the goals, securing all 3 points against York City. The Albion now up to a respectable 15th for the trip to Swansea. Nothing to cheer about at the Vetch Field, the Seagulls going down by 3 clear goals. But a Kurt Nogan goal earns a point at Brentford, and then it's Burnley for the midweeker at the Goldstone. Brighton recovering from the early Burnley goal to grab a point with yet another Kurt Nogan goal. Now the Albion look to earn a double after winning earlier this season against Leyton Orient. Goals from Codner and Kennedy securing the points. Albion now a useful 8 points clear of the drop zone before facing Exeter City at St James Park. A decent point courtesy of yet another Kurt Nogan goal down in the West Country, and now another Western team, well supported Plymouth Argyle. A last-minute wonder goal from Paul Dickoff, fatally wounding Argyle's promotion aspirations. Now the Albion faced the doomed Barnet, who were rooted to the foot of the table. Sadly, just a point at Underhill with that expensive penalty miss before another midweek game at the Goldstone, Swansea City the opposition. Dickoff, Codnard, Foster from Nogan all getting on the score sheet and pushing the Albion up to 13th before the trip to a snow-covered Abbey Stadium. The Albion unluckily losing by the odd goal in 3 against Cambridge United. Reading now lead the pack with a haul of 81 points. Plymouth Argyle 6 points behind there. At the bottom, Barnet had enjoyed some favourable results of late, but their chances of avoiding the drop still looking impossible. Despite the loss at Cambridge, the Albion are now more cosily placed at 13th in the table, sandwiched between two Welsh sides, Wrexham and Swansea, and it's another Welsh side next, as the Seagulls take on relegation-threatened Cardiff City in a bizarre 8-goal thriller that had just about everything. 3 goals insufficient to beat a rejuvenated Cardiff, and staying with the Welsh theme, an away fixture at the Racecourse ground next to face mid-table Wrexham.
Mundy with the throw, it's a long one. Touched on by Crumpling, Dieckhoff does well to turn, that's a great goal. And you have got to say, you can see it coming. Paul Dieckhoff took the flick on by Crumpling from Mundy's throw. Ball swung dangerously, Foster nods it in. Marriott just got a touch, puts it over the bar. Humes, I think, took a knock in challenging Foster. He's able to continue though. Maybe on those ribs actually, seems to be holding his size. Crumpling again with the corner. Mishits this one. Oh, and it's gone straight in. Oh, misjudgment by Marius. And Crumpling puts the ball straight in from the corner. And it must essentially be made. Hogan puts it across. Crumpling with acres of space. And Marriott parries. Penchik can't beat Codness to the rebound, and they have got the third. Helps it on to Bennett. Takes on McCarthy and spreads it to Brammer. Chance to shoot. Good goal by Brammer.
The Albion earning all 3 points at Wrexham in front of just 2,613. But there's over 10,000 to greet Fulham at the Goldstone. Fulham crashing to a defeat that would ultimately cost them their Division 2 place. And another team about to leave the third tier, but in the opposite direction, are Reading. Reading fans enjoying that one as they head up for Division 1. Could Port Vale now join them? Wonderful to see the Goldstone packed with 15,000 plus there, including a huge contingent from the Potteries, who see their team pip Plymouth Argyle, who had beaten Hartlepool 8-1 on the last day of the season for the second automatic promotion place. Justine Wilkins' wonder free kick, worth remembering from a Brighton point of view. And so, after an early season wobble, the Seagulls clambered up to mid-table respectability and safety. For Reading, It was the title, though by only 1 point in the end over Port Vale, with 6th placed Burnley joining them via the playoffs. As expected, it was Barnet who propped up the final table on just 28 points, with Hartlepool, Exeter City and Fulham, who had amassed a reasonable 52 points, also heading in the wrong direction. So Albion fans now look forward to season 1994 to 1995 with Liam Brady at the helm, hoping for better things.